All right, cool. Welcome everybody. Welcome to another UW Esports Game of the Week. Today we're playing Rocket League. As you all know, today we're against the University of Ottawa. Should be a really great series. Both teams very good. University of Ottawa does have a few very good players. Just to get the brief rundown out of the way, our esports program, as you know, is really about building community, really about bridging people to the right career paths and getting career opportunities if they want to get involved in esports and really take gaming to the next level. Healthy competition is something super important to, I think, a lot of people, and we are here for it. Esports really give us the ability to communicate with each other, and it really allows us to form connections that you don't really see otherwise. It's a pretty unique thing that we really need a lot of given the current situation. I know a lot of us are getting sick of quarantine, but we just got to hang in there just a few more months, hopefully. You didn't hear me say that, though. We hope you enjoy being a part of our community, and we invite you to get more involved. You can follow us here on our Twitch channel or on our UW Esports Discord server, which there is a command in the chat to find that. And you can also find us on our socials at U of Wa Esports. Now, to introduce ourselves, my name is Roha. I also go by Andrew. I'm a senior in informatics. I'll be your first caster for tonight.
And my name is Hydra. I also go by Caleb, and I'm a freshman, and I'll be your second caster for the night.
Yeah, Caleb, do you have anything you want to say about these two teams before we get into it? Anything you're looking for? Anything you're watching out for?
I hope that this series turns out to be just like the last series I casted. It was a super exciting, very close series. Went into overtime in the 2-2 game. So I hope I get to see a little bit more of that exciting competition, that super close match.
We love a close game. Nothing quite as exciting as that. Let's get right into it. I don't want to keep us any of us waiting. I'm excited to see. Let's get right into it. Game 1 here, UW versus University of Ottawa. It's an early hit off to the corner here for UW. It is orange on this game. There's a last man back situation. Going for a bump. Vixie not going to get hit, and he's going to push it back into the corner.
Already we're seeing Ottawa here pressing their advantage pretty hard, but we see a good clear from UW. Definitely back and forth so far.
Yeah, I think so far, both teams obviously pretty fast at the ball. They're not making any really bad challenges. I think we're looking here for a lot of passing. I think that's going to be the key to the game here.
A good fake there.
Dribbling instead.
Man, Toby already breaking ankles.
Yeah, actually just this weekend, for those of you who don't know, I am on the JV team. We scrimmed against varsity, and I gotta say, they are a force to be reckoned with. Yeah, maybe I didn't say that. Commentator first.
It was calculated. We all know that.
Oh, absolutely. They're just testing them. They're testing the limits.
When players are this much better than me, I have to assume everything they're doing is on purpose.
Yeah. That actually does bring up a pretty good point in Rocket League, which is that I think a lot of players don't know to what extent that certain things are intentional. Like how every little touch and every minute little detail is really all a calculated effort, really.
Yeah, and the other thing is it's so calculated yet so reactive. It's such a quick reaction-based game. You don't have time to think with the ball moving around, changing directions, other players as variables on the field, your teammates looking for passes. It's so much going on. You're calculating all these minute things, yet you don't have time to actually process it. So it's all muscle memory and just game sense.
Yeah, you really just got to build the habits to get really good at it really, really fast, because you've got split seconds there to process everything that's going on and to make the right decision.
Right. And sometimes, you can just turn off the brain and just go a little monkey mode and hope it works out.
Absolutely, but that's only really possible once you've got quite a few number of hours in the game. And that's one of those things that you can really only build with time. It doesn't really matter how good you are as a natural player. You just got to spend time in the game and get used to moving around.
Definitely seeing it's very close here. Lots of back and forth. No team has really had much of an advantage here. As I say that, a dangerous ball from
Other
Ottawa.
Commentators curse.
That is my bad, everyone. that was just unfortunate timing. J-Chan with a nice shot there, and a great pass. And just kind of putting UW, I believe it was Vixie on the wall there, just in an awkward spot with that ball bouncing right over his head.
Yeah, you know, one of the hard positions in Rocket League is to be on the wall. Like this, actually, when the ball is going towards your net. It's hard to get off the wall and, like, get forward enough to make contact, so.
Yeah, lots of button presses required and a lot of thinking as well.
Now, going back off to the side here, UW trying to maintain pressure on their opponent's half here. Not finding a whole lot of success. They are managing to keep the ball in, but no real threat as Ottawa clears it away calmly. And honestly, they're looking pretty good on defense right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, no real mishaps on Ottawa's side, and their rotations are pretty solid. We've seen almost every shot that UW has put on get cleared well, and definitely blocked as well, as the score is still 0. So yeah, they're definitely real solid on their defensive half. Definitely a bit slower on the offense than we see from UW normally. And as I say that, Mixie just slotting that one in.
I mean, that's a great angle and a great find there. Seeing the player a little bit too far, not quite at the near post yet. Decides to exploit that and goes for a quick shot.
But as I was saying, I mean, we're definitely seeing a more patient. Another opportunity. Wizard with a nice shot up high, just out of reach.
I think you got to highlight the pass there. Just putting it in the perfect spot. Honestly, University of Ottawa might have had a chance to get to that ball. They probably should have sent someone to challenge, but the pass was in a place such that they felt like they wouldn't get to it in time. And both of the defenders actually waited for the shot. Giving Wizard that much space, not a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, what these players can do with the ball in a little bit of space is crazy, to say the least.
Speaking of space, here we go. A little bit of a solo play. Great 50 there. Another one coming in. Mixie off into the corner.
An unfortunate miss there from Toby.
Pressure is cleared for now, but UW showing signs of life and actually taking the lead, no less. They just got to hold on for a little bit longer to secure game 1. University of Ottawa playing definitely a bit more up now, trying to keep that pressure up. They know they're running out of time. Potentially dangerous ball middle. That's a bad miss. Maybe a calculated one?
Again, I mean, Ottawa's offense is just very patient, and it's not going to work out for them in this when they're down a goal. The ball on UW's half, they got to play more aggressive, risk, because really and as I say that the ball drops, really they have nothing to lose there.
Yeah.
They either are down another goal and they lose the game, or they can bring that one back. So playing a lot more aggressive there, committing a couple more players to that ball instead of 0, maybe 2. And trying to slot that ball in with that 0-second ball up is definitely the way to go. So playing that patient can work out at the beginning, but coming into the end there down a goal, you got to step up the aggressiveness.
Yeah, I think one thing to note here is that, you know, certain teams become really well known for their play styles. You know, we talk about UW having a really aggressive play style a lot. From what we've seen so far, University of Ottawa seems to have a very much more of a calculated play style, very patient, which works great when you're winning and you're in control of the game. But once you go down, you know, you have to adapt to a style you're maybe not so used to. So it'll be curious to see if they try to adapt that moving forwards or stick with their game plan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we want to see them maybe change it up a little bit here. It was definitely a good game 1, very close, held out at the very beginning until I opened my mouth. And we saw a lot of back and forth. It wasn't really anyone's game until UW kind of opened it up there. And even then, still very close. Lots of close scoring opportunities at the end there for Ottawa. And UW kind of on their heels.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be looking at a great game 2.
Yeah.
I think we're just going to get right into it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to wait.
I mean, I definitely don't. Oh, that's actually a great demo there from UW. We haven't seen many of those in the last game. A few bump attempts, but no actual successful ones.
Yeah, I mean, opening it up with a demo is a good way to start it. Demos can be a little bit rattling. They can get you a little bit on your heels if you're not expecting them like that. A good fake there from Ottawa's player. 0 boost, he knew what to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, he did get the fake off, but there is a lot of pressure here on Ottawa's goal. UW doing a great job of keeping the ball in their half. But Ottawa with a chance here to counterattack goes for a cheeky little flick.
Yeah, from the angle we were From the angle we were seeing that one at, it looked like he had the angle there and was going to get that around the UW defense, but not quite.
Oh, good bumps there too. Sends the ball backwards, but Toby able to recover. Actually got a touch on. That might be a shot on net.
A great challenge from Toby leads to a very nice shot from Dixie, just playing that one in.
And you know, I don't think it should be understated that just being able to put the ball on net like that, on command, not an easy task.
I mean, it becomes almost 100% harder to put the ball in the net when there's no one defending the net.
Oh, absolutely.
And we see there, Vixie puts it in not only with power, but very accurately into a nice high corner.
University of Ottawa went for an air dribble. They're actually caught with no one back here. That's a great 50 to relieve a little bit of pressure and keep the ball on UW's half. Would have been a very dangerous situation.
Can't see anyone else's boost, but it looks like they are low here. Yeah, Vixie on the wall with 0. Don't know what he's going to go for here. Toby is able to cover some.
Yep, grab that corner, go up the wall. He's going to have to get a good hit here or not hit it at all. That's a potentially dangerous ball, but Vixie there to beat the University of Ottawa player.
Ooh, a nice touch.
On target, but not too strong. University of Ottawa is going to get back. No problem to save that. Oh, no.
Oh.
Jay Chan looking a little bit out of place there. I think his car was in a bit of an unfortunate position. He was a little bit awkward to get to that, and maybe he also just flipped the wrong way.
Yeah,
regardless of why, that is going to be an own goal for University of Ottawa, putting them down 2.
Just trying to bring the style back here, get one in, maybe redeem it. Definitely want to see one, a little bit of a counterattack here, just to bring the pace back up. UW playing their normal aggressive offense. As I say that, looks like a musty flick attempt from Wizard.
Not quite going to get the full musty there, but he does get the motion down, just not quite enough power on it. And you know, like, those are fickle.
Oh, nice demo there from Jitchin, looking with the net.
Shot isn't quite on target, but they are just pestering the backboard here. UW probably going to be kind of low on boost, I would imagine, but great clear from Wizard.
Yeah, that clear, definitely a savior there, allowing for time to pick up some boost. We don't see Toby or Vixie go for any, but Wizard does have a full tank. Now we see Toby with half a tank as well. A dangerous touch, Wizard there to save him.
Good teamwork there. Wizard covering for maybe not the best touch by Toby. Oh, was that? I don't actually remember.
Yeah, it was Toby.
Okay.
I don't know if that was maybe intentional, but it didn't seem quite like it would have been. There's some slow floaters in front of net.
It could have been. If they knew they were close to each other, they knew they could have passed that ball off. It could have been quite good.
Again, as I said, I mean, when these players are so much faster and so much better than you, it's hard to say if what they were doing is on purpose or not.
I mean, sometimes all we can do is wonder, and you know, if there is a little bit of luck involved, so be it. That's just the game, right?
Yeah, that's part of it. I mean, I'd say Rocket League in general prides itself on not being a very luck-based game, but sometimes you get that 50 or that accidental team pinch.
Or Rule 1, are they going to hold it?
Of course they will. I mean,
of course they
will. Anyone
These
breaks this one.
Respectable players.
Oh, we got a 2v2 on the field here.
Rare to see at this level of play, but Rule 1, for those of you who don't know, you can see them off in the corner doing their thing. Oh, great double tap.
Oh my gosh.
Save. They scramble back, doubling on the save.
Now, 2's a very different game than 3's, and it's fun to see it kind of switch up like this. 2's is a bit more of a solo-based game. You can't commit so many players to a passing play, and as I say that, Vixie slots one in.
And yeah, an awkward situation there, taking advantage of the Rule 1. And you know, with a commanding 3-goal lead with only 30 seconds left.
Now, major respect to Ottawa there for holding that one out. Down a couple of goals, and Vixie saving the ball.
Vixie. What do you do?
But commendable for them to hold out that Rule 1, down a couple of goals. They have their opportunity to bring that one back, but the respect is there for UW and for Ottawa between the players, and they hold out that Rule 1.
I mean, you know, that's just a sign of camaraderie, honestly. Even in a competitive setting, at the end of the day, we're all friends playing the game we love.
Yeah.
Rule 1's just a great example of it.
Now, for any of you who are confused, Rule 1, it is a bit of a community rule. It's more like etiquette than a rule, I would say. just kind of saying that if two players get locked in a head-on-head collision, they have to hold it there, and no one moves until a ball is scored or someone gets knocked out of the way. So it takes a player off the field for both teams, and it's commendable that they didn't break that one.
Yeah, I mean, okay, there are, according to the Rocket League historians, so to speak, there are actually there's some contention about what Rule 1 is. Some people say Rule 1 is when you're locked head-to-head with another car, you can't move. And other people say that Rule 1 is keeping the ball up at 0 seconds no matter what. Now, I personally don't have an opinion on which one is correct. I think they're both important rules of Rocket League.
Yes.
But just a quick little history lesson for those of you who didn't know.
I've always gone by Rule 1 is what we just saw, and the golden rule is keeping the ball up at 0. That way they're both just as important, but one holds a place, in my heart.
I do like that, yeah. I mean, I've always called it Rule 1. I think everyone I know calls it Rule 1, so.
Of course.
If anything, I don't think I've actually heard my own friends talk about keeping the ball up as a rule, so to speak. Like they just do it. It's like an unspoken rule of sorts.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think you just it's more fun to have the ball in the air no matter what the score is. I mean, you could be down 7 goals or it could be tied 2-2. But keeping the ball in the air,
keep that
way
ball
more
up.
fun. Yeah.
Anyways, I do think this is a best of 5 series, so that means UW here are on their match point. University of Ottawa at the proposition of getting swept. Are they going to pull out something new? Pull out some new moves, maybe a new tactic? I'm excited to see.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to wait anymore. I want to get into Game 3 here and see just how this turns out.
Yeah, let's get right into it.
Now, we're no longer in the 2v2. We're in a 3v3. A nice shot from Toby. Man, off the pass from Vixie. Great shot there. Nice little angled redirect.
I mean, people spend a lot of time practicing these kickoff strategies. They are one of the easiest ways to take an advantage early on. If you can control the ball off the kickoff, you're essentially controlling the ball from the get-go.
Yeah, and I mean, getting that advantage, you can sometimes steal a little extra boost, put yourself in a better position. It always works out well to win that kickoff.
There is a bit of a scramble here on the side. UW does manage to pick up possession, but University of Ottawa not quite fazed by that. And they're going to get an offensive opportunity here. 1v2, I believe, as the player comes up. And oh no, great flick.
You can't see the other team's boost. He was holding out on 3 boosts there, and I just don't think Toby was expecting it. I think he thought maybe an air dribble was coming or something of that nature, and a little bit of a fake. We didn't see it, but I'm assuming that's what happened just with the way that played out.
Yeah, I mean, and something else that we saw, actually, Wizard getting caught off rotation, going for that back boost instead of being in net. Might have cost them that.
Yeah, I mean, a keen eye picks that up. I didn't quite see it, so definitely something to take note of.
Speaking of Wizard, here you go. He has an opportunity here to play the ball center. Gonna get cleared away pretty confidently. It's over 1, but he's there to collect it.
An interesting touch looking out there for Soley's. Just playing that off the wall into the corner. Dangerous ball here for UW. Vixie with a nice touch over.
Solis is up. Also, is it Solis or Soley?
I would not know.
I mean, regardless, they are doing a great job right now of applying pressure. University of Ottawa as a whole doing quite good.
Ooh,
that's a great dunk there.
Oh, the stuff. Man,
that is Jay Chan. It is Fennec. The Fennec, a pretty stocky car. Same hitbox as the Octane, but it definitely feels a little bit larger sometimes.
I think that has to do with just the hitbox. I am a Fennec main. I know some people may find it dirty that I say that, but it feels like it lines up a little better with the actual model of the car, in my opinion. I feel like when I'm hitting the ball on the Fennec, that's where it's hitting on the hitbox.
Right.
So I think that can be kind of the winning side of the Fennec there, something that Fennec mains kind of preach. But the Octane, a classic. Can't go wrong with the Octane.
I mean, and interestingly enough...
Oh,
great shot there.
Man, Ottawa will not go down with the fight. Down in the series 2-0 here, but up in the game 3-1. They're not going
They're
to give this
pulling
one
out
up.
all the stops right now. They're putting a lot of great shots on target, building some great plays out of the backfield. Honestly, just showing off their individual talents.
Yeah, UW needing to bring this one back here. We got a player all the way downfield, flying through the air with 0 boost, putting them in a 3v2 situation.
Obviously, he's going to collect it. He's got an opportunity. He's going to get a good 50 towards the center. Wizard a little awkward, but does get there in time.
Bit of a double commit there from Toby and Wizard.
Yeah, and we've been seeing quite a few of those actually lately. Those double commits are starting to hurt them a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, when your offense gets aggressive, gets too fast, you get in a little bit of a scramble because you're down a couple of goals. You can definitely have a bit of a communication issue here or there, especially when you're moving this quick. It's easy to call a ball and just not hear it or not have time to react, and now you got 2 players going for the same ball.
I mean, that's just one of the things you have to be really set in your rotation. You really have to know who you're playing with and give them a lot of trust.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a tip to those who are trying to rank up, find a team. Because when you play with the same players for long enough, you find a rhythm, you get to know each other's play styles, you know what people are comfortable with, what they can go for, and then you start to see a lot more success, and that's what happens with these players. I mean, I'm not 100% certain on how long Ottawa or UW have been playing together, but they play together constantly, they play in scrims all the time, so they really have a good idea of each other's skill sets and each other's play styles.
Yeah, I mean, I can second that. Finding a team to play with is definitely the easiest way of ranking up in Rocket League. Even if you practice your own
backboard.
Oh, that's a great takeaway.
I mean, when the ball bounces off your backboard that many times, there's not much you can do with it. It's back and forth. Your camera gets all messed up. Just a tough ball for Ottawa.
One of the things that I think a lot of people don't really realize is how hard it is to hit the ball when the ball is like directly above you.
Yeah, it's real tough, especially when it's moving a lot slower than you might expect. You get that jump going right above you, and ooh, dangerous ball, a nice save from Kip there.
I mean, UW doing a good job of applying pressure here. They only have 15 seconds or so to try to close this gap and send it to overtime.
Playing well in the midfield, blocking that opportunity for the clear. Not enough power on that one.
No, good demo actually. And that's going to seal the deal, I think. UW has one chance to keep this ball alive.
Getting the ball up here, a shot opportunity.
Oh, and
Ottawa seals the deal.
Ottawa just puts it in.
Nail in the coffin there.
And so they hold on one more game.
Yeah, Ottawa not going down.
Or 1-2, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, down a game here in the series. Got to bring this back 2 games here to clinch this out.
I mean, yeah,
definitely
they're gonna have to reverse sweep essentially if they want to win the series.
Definitely bringing this one back though. We saw almost a different Ottawa, applying a lot of good pressure there, not letting UW have as much space as they were in the first couple of games there. I'm sure they talked about it in between games, just applying a bit more of that pressure, getting up to those balls a little bit quicker and challenging a little bit sooner.
I mean, yeah, they were doing a really great job of applying pressure, getting their shots on target this time, and I think something that we saw a little bit more of, and not that they directly influenced those goals specifically, but just in general in that game, I think we're starting to see more bumps and demos come out, something I really do like to see because I do think it's a really great strategy and really hard to defend against. Yeah,
I mean, some people would say that it's a cheap tactic or bad sportsmanship, but I mean, it's so effective and it's so well known in higher level play that a demo or a bump can really open up that net. So for those of you who say it's cheap, I disagree. I think it's a very high skill, high strategy way to go about things.
And I advise you, if you're not implementing it into your game already, give it a try. It's really good.
And fun. There's nothing better than blowing up a couple of cars.
Anyways, Game 4, will University of Ottawa be able to hold on and keep their series alive and send it to Game 5, or will UW close it out? Let's find out. Let's get right into it. I don't want to wait any longer. Early on, UW once again kind of winning the kickoff there, and Toby going for the pass forward.
High ball here, Vixie with an opportunity to redirect that in the corner. Not quite the touch I think he wanted there.
Oh, a bit of a double commit there by University of Ottawa. But that's a good
Ooh, a nice
bump,
bump.
actually.
That can
Another
be so
bump back.
frustrating. When you get a good dribble going, you get that ball nice and lined up on the front of your car, and then you just get bumped or demoed from behind.
Oh, yeah, it's the worst.
I can see why people get upset about the demos, because it can be frustrating to be out of the game for a couple of seconds there. But yeah, it's definitely an effective strategy. We saw Vixie get his entire dribble basically canceled there by just one tiny bump in the back from a player with almost no boost in the tank too. It takes very little resource to execute that.
I mean, and the thing is oh, that's an opportunity, and of course they're going to put it in.
I was not sure if Toby was going to go for the Doomsy there or just let someone else slot that in, and it looks like he went for the pass to Vixie.
I mean, to be honest, he probably could have went for either, and I think they still would have gotten the goal. I think Vixie there in a good position to make sure that goes in.
Yeah, guaranteed that one. I think it's definitely the safe play and a good decision there from Toby to just kind of give up on that one and let Vixie play that in.
I mean, at the end of the day, Rocket League is a team game. Especially at higher levels, solo play will only get you so far because everyone is used to defending against solo plays.
Exactly. And when you start to get a little bit flashier, those are the plays that cost the most boost and also put you the furthest out of position and out of rotation. So it can be real dangerous and real costly to be constantly committing yourself to those solo plays.
Yeah, and not only do they take more boost and put you out of position, they also take more time. It takes more time to spin around and do your twirls.
Definitely gives the other team a lot more time to react. A solid demo there, taking looked like Wizard off the field.
Vixie here pushing it into the corner. Oh, a good bump there, but J-Chan there to pick it up.
Very
Ball's
physical
going
so far.
high. Shot opportunity, maybe.
Sends that one a little high. A good pass.
Oh, great save.
Amazing save. Wow. Right place, right time. That's what good rotations get you right there. Just like the perfect spot to make that save.
That would have been free. It was a double commit by the University of Washington. No one left in net except Wizard as the last line.
It was a solid angle there from Toby, not quite, but very dangerous. Toby in a last man back. Looks like Vixie catches his rotation, helping him out there a little bit.
And a lot of the time in those last man back situations, all you're really trying to do is slow down the play and give your teammates time to get back. You don't have to win the challenge necessarily, just slow down the ball and don't let them get a free shot on net.
And you think fake touches and fake shots are a thing. Fake challenges are a thing as well. These players, they're so used to good shadow defense, which is a term used for defense played shadowing the opponent, kind of following their moves and tracking their movement. But they're so used to having these defenders with such solid shadow defense, they're able to really capitalize on a messed up touch from the offense. That when that defender makes a challenge, they turn their car around, they flip towards you or whatever it is. To react, you can maybe get a flick over their head or something, and that's where a fake challenge really comes into play. You pretend like you're gonna go attack the ball, you pretend like you're gonna go challenge them, and then all of a sudden you're not, and that attacker flicks the ball away right into your hands.
I mean, yeah, I think a fake challenge is a really, really good example of how the metagame will never really stop evolving, because something will always become good and there will always be something to counter it.
Of course.
Right now, when the meta is so important to be doing fake challenges, we might start seeing a meta evolve where, people just start hitting it, or people start expecting the fake challenge, right? But then the answer to that is simply, great dunk.
Man, that was what, 3 touches in between the two of them?
I mean, that's just great positioning and a really good ability to read the opponent, see where he's going to hit that ball, and really just try to counter it.
Yeah, definitely a solid dunk there. Those feel the worst as a defender. You get those points for getting the save, yet not the satisfaction of actually saving it.
I mean, yeah, and it can be rough, right? Like, that's a risky play. You're putting yourself really high in front of their net, using your boost to get up there. If you don't get that to go where you need it to go, you could be really out of position.
Especially with those dunks on net, a lot of times the follow-through is into their net. Man, Vixie with a nice shot.
Great pass and a great shot. I mean, this is looking a lot like Game 2, where they were down 3 goals with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, Ottawa, if they bring it out like they did at the beginning of Game 3 there, you can see them score a couple of goals here to get back a UW.
But the clock continues to tick down and no real meaningful attacks being made by University of Ottawa. This is looking like it might be a wrap.
Ottawa with a chance to score one here. put one on the board, and they
They
do
are
kick,
take one.
putting that one in with a nice light touch. 9 seconds to bring back 2.
This next
Everything's
kickoff is
possible.
absolutely vital for them. If they don't get this kickoff where they need it, this game is over.
Yeah, and with that, I think
That
they
might
can
be
call this
it.
one. 3 seconds on the clock. The best they can
Yeah,
do
and
here
there
is
it is.
bring it up another goal, and they do not.
I mean, yeah, great series by both teams, honestly. I think they
Yeah.
both had their really high moments. No
Yeah,
real lows, to be honest. I think they were playing pretty well throughout.
Yeah, it was definitely a good series of Rocket League. We saw 2 very close teams. Ottawa bringing it back in Game 3, too, after a couple of not so close victories from UW. And Ottawa just showing them they can dish it back. And then UW kind of finishing that one off in Game 4. I think they weren't expecting such an aggressive Ottawa out of Game 3 at the beginning there. Caught them on their heels, and then going into Game 4, they kind of had it in the back of their heads that they might see a different play style from Ottawa.
Yeah. I mean, that's the beauty of like multi-game series, right? You really get to see how your opponent plays and adapt to it. It's really a multi-game battle, if you will, you know?
Yeah, and just like regular soccer, there's lots of different strategies to enact as you play. There's no one good way to play Rocket League. There's hundreds, infinite ways to play Rocket League well, and finding your play style and finding ways to counter other play styles is the only way to win.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. You know, I think one of the things that makes Rocket League such an interesting esport to follow is just because it does so closely mimic real sports, right?
Right.
And, you know, an interesting discussion that I heard, which, you know, I'll keep it brief since we're going to be closing the stream soon. But the interesting thing about Rocket League is it's not like other sports games, you know? It's not like FIFA or Madden, where if you click a button, you make a pass, right? Or like, you know, you click a button to shoot. In Rocket League, you can't click a button to shoot for you. You have to control the car, and then the car does the shot.
Yeah.
So I think it's a level of control that you have in Rocket League over your player. In this case, it's a car, but over your character that you just don't see in other games. And it's why it's the most closely related to like a real sport. Because in a real sport, you know, there's no button to shoot the ball. You kind of have to learn how to do it with your own body to control your like movements. And that's just how Rocket League works. Just use the controller instead.
I 100% agree. I mean, for you, those of you like me who find FIFA, Madden, those kind of games a little bit boring, try Rocket League. I'm sure it'll change your mind because it takes a lot of time, a lot of practice, but being good at Rocket League really makes you feel like you've accomplished something because it's all about the time put in, and every action you do is of your own consequence. It's not like Andrew said here, not like a button push away from success. Instead, it's hours of practice and times put in. So I definitely recommend it.
I mean, yeah. But with that, you know, congrats to the University of Washington for their win. That was a 3-1 best of 5 over University of Ottawa. It was a great series. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you to all of you for joining us here on our stream, on our Twitch channel, and spending time with our production crew, including the players, the talent, and the casting crew, and, you know, everyone behind the scenes who you don't get to see, but, you know, they're there, and we appreciate them a lot.
Yeah, they definitely are. I can hear them.
Oh, can you? I mean,
yeah. I mean, you never get that little whisper in your ear, like,
oh yeah, you know, the production fairies when they come out after dark.
That's what I was gonna call it. Stole the words right from my mouth. Yeah.
Well, remember to check us out at U of Wa Esports on, I think, Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, UW Esports. And make sure to join our Discord if you haven't already. Get involved. We'd love to see you there. Anyways, I think that's it from us. Hope you all have a great rest of your night. We had a lot of fun. Hope we see you here next week.
Good night.